Live to the Jubilee Recreation Center in beautiful Fort Saskatchewan, Alberta for some RMLL Junior B Tier 1 action between the home side, Fort Saskatchewan Rebels, and the visiting Beaumont Outlaws. For the Rebels, they stand 8-1, 0-0 on the season, first in the North. The Outlaws 2-5, 0-0, good enough for fourth in that same division. It's going to be an entertaining one this afternoon. The Rebels, the start they wanted to this season. The Outlaws looking for a big win over one of the top teams in northern Alberta. It's going to be an exciting one as we're in mid-season form now in the Junior B Tier 1 division. Some exciting senior action last night. The Rebels able to take a win in that one over the Calgary Mounties. See if the Rebels organization can keep the good times rolling as we're about to get underway in this one. Knox Desmond's going to step in to take this draw to kick us off. Looks like he's going to be lined up against Brandon Hui. We are underway. Ball loose out of the face-off draw. Still loose as both teams trying to track it down, and now it's going to bounce off the boards. The Rebels going to get on top of it. Ashton Johnson feeds that one head up along the right side. He finds the captain, Walsh. Walsh just going to ditch that off and go for the change. Offense going to be fully out there momentarily as Reed Lowe, the team's leading scorer, is the last man off the bench. Ball quickly turned over on an errant pass, and it's going to be the Outlaws trying to exit their zone now. It's Jesse Porter. Porter runs his way across half now, slowing things down. Porter up high to the point. He finds Hildebrand. Hildebrand back to the left side shooter spot. The Outlaws doing a good job moving it around now, utilizing the right side of the floor as Kieran Lewis just going to dish that one off quickly as Porter lets that one go, and it's going to be stopped by the Rebels starting goaltender today, Carson Martel. On the other side for the Outlaws, it's Easton Couturier who's going to be challenged by the Rebels now. Dylan Pook out there for Fort Saskatchewan, going to feed that one up high. He's got Jolivet who's going to go down to the left side now. Rylan Connors. Connors to the right side, up high. Big shot from the point by Pook. That one's going to go wide, I believe, off a body. Jackson Baker settles it back down. Baker back to Pook, and his pass just a little bit high. Shot clock down to 1 second, and that'll do it for the Rebels' possession. Forcefully turned over to the Outlaws as they break out here once again. Still 0-0. We're about a minute and a half into this contest, so don't worry if you're just tuning in. You haven't missed anything of note yet. Just some back and forth lacrosse action here on a fine Sunday afternoon, a rainy day, so I hope you're inside joining us here on NetFront Sports. A big breakaway there in for the Outlaws. That one going to be stopped by Carson Martel. Ball moved up along the right-hand side, and out come the Rebels here once again. Eric Tompkins going to fake that one off up to the point and give it off to the right side of the floor now as Fort Saskatchewan looks to get set up. Rudneski up high, low. Low, going to utilize the left side of the floor now. It's Eric Tompkins who sends that one across. Settling it down are the Rebels trying to find Low at that left crease spot. Just unable to connect as the defense painted all over him that time around. And that's another expired shot clock for Fort Saskatchewan. So some early frustration being caused by the Outlaws. 17:46 to go as they look to head up the floor here. Down into the offensive zone now. Beaumont up high with it. Hildebrand sends that one low left. Scanning the floor now is Carter Mitchell. Mitchell going to go all the way over to the right, and that pass just didn't quite connect with Kieran Lewis, but he gets the rebound. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Sent back across, and a low shot whistled wide that time by Mitchell. Rebels back, trying to go back the other way, and it's going to be the over and back violation charged against Beaumont. Resumption of play going to come down in the right corner of their zone. Picking it up, going to be Eric Rudneski. Rudneski finds that ball up high now. So Rebels continue to go to work. Sent across, Jolivet. From the outside, lets one go, and that's high and wide over top of the net. Rudneski continuing to get to work now is up along the left-hand side. It's going to be Carter Mitchell running this one down and putting some pressure on the Rebels' defense. Outlaws ready to go to work. Cale Harris. Harris going to drive this one low. Goes back up high now as the Outlaws scanning. Looking at a big shot from the outside, stopped by Martel. Falling while letting that one go was Marcus Hildebrand. Baker going to settle things down now in the offensive zone. Outlaws quickly get this one back. So the Rebels haven't been able to get anything through thus far. The Outlaws out shooting them 3-0 as they get set up in the offensive zone here once again. It's Brownlee being challenged up high by Alex Zorniak. Brownlee going to dish that one off. He's got Jesse Porter. Porter now going to make a move towards the point. Dishes that one off. Pass right into the top of the crease. That one going to miss its target. Ball comes free, and it's going to be the loose ball push charged against the Rebels, I believe. So ball awarded back to the Outlaws with the fresh 30. Porter dishes that one across to the left, making a move down low now. It's Carter Mitchell's shot that got onto Martel. Rebound comes out. It's going to be Knox Despins that picks that one back up for Fort Saskatchewan. Up the floor now. Getting that pass is Reese Walsh as he's going to step across half. Walsh in tight and a big quick shot from Reed Lowe, and a better save that time from Easton Couturier. Ball up the middle. Outlaws getting back to work. It's Hildebrand challenged up high. Going to get a pick to open up some space in his pass in the middle. Couldn't quite connect that time with Cale Harris. 9 seconds to go on the shot clock as the Outlaws continue to try to direct something towards the net. That one gets on to Martel on the shot from the outside from Quade Banning. Turned away into the corner, and it's going to be picked up by Nickel. Jack Nickel up along the right-hand side. Less than 15 minutes to go in the first period now as the Rebels set up back on offense here once again. Ball cycled to the left side. Jolivet going to throw it across. Entrop now looking into the middle there, trying to find Reed Lowe, and that just didn't quite connect. And kind of been the story for both sides on the grade A chances. That last pass just not connecting, and there's another example of it as Reed Lowe knocked down before he could handle that one in, and back the other way comes Hudson Cook for Beaumont. Cook on his weak side of the floor being challenged along the outside here by Alex Zorniak, who throws that all the way across, and now it's going to be Porter. 15 seconds on the shot clock, tried to hit his man coming in late in Cason Brownlee, who has to go get the rebound, has some space to operate now in his shot. The bouncer going to go wide of the net. Rebels looking to break out now. Knox Despins picks that one up. His offense coming out onto the floor now, and he's just going to dish that ball off. Rudneski slowing things down. 18 seconds on the shot clock for the Rebels. He sends it over. Reed Lowe can dump it to that left shooter spot. Cycling back up high is Fort Saskatchewan. A nice feed into the middle. A quick shot stopped out of the stick of Eric Tompkins. Couturier just a little bit better. Rebound pops out. Picked up by the Rebels. Fresh 30 to work with. Is their offense going to get to stay out on the floor? Jolivet hops back out there as he was the early man to try to get his defense out there. Nonetheless, Rebels back to work. Eric Tompkins cycles that one up high. Looking for an option. Fort Saskatchewan is low, wires that one wide of the net. Trying to go short side high, I believe, on Couturier. Nonetheless, the Outlaws pick it back up and head out the other direction. Regan Walker dishes that one off. Mitchell going to step inside and challenge now up to the point. Has some room, getting closed on, and that one going to be stopped by Martel. Rebound pops out. Nickel with it for the Rebels. He gets pinned behind his own net. And a stolen ball back the other way by Porter on the bounce pass. Outlaws with a fresh 30 to work with. Full offense still out on the floor. Ball worked off to the left side by the half boards. Trying to cycle this one into the middle is Mitchell, who makes a nice pass inside, and now in alone that time was Cale Harris, and gets knocked down as he takes that shot. Ball going to be loose. The referees with a whistle away there, as that was almost a textbook definition of a hold, but now a possible break here for Fort Saskatchewan. It's a quick opportunity. What a behind-the-back goal. Oh, my, Liam Elliott pots one by Couturier, and that's the highlight reel goal to get us opened up at the JRC. So the bad turnover by the Outlaws capitalized on by the Rebels. And just like that, we have ourselves a 1-0 game. Shot 7-2 in favor of the Outlaws, but the Rebels find themselves out in front. Game or scoreboard saying 1-1 right now in the JRC, but I might have to check with Tristan here. Unless I had a little brain fart, I don't think the Outlaws have put anything home as of yet. So I'm going to stick with Tristan. In Tristan we trust. In my own brain, I think might have to go get checked out if I missed it. But Reed Lowe pots one, and quickly it's a 2-0 lead for the Rebels. And there's the team's leading scorer. Came in with 28 points coming into today. Good enough for second in North scoring. Increases that total here this afternoon. And we're only just getting underway. 11:55 to go in the first. Fort Saskatchewan, a 2-goal lead. Despots lines up against Wheat for that face-off. And it's going to be awarded to the Outlaws on the face-off violation, so they get to work here. Now looking to find a strike of their own. Carter Mitchell going to dish that one back up high. He's got Hildebrand. Hildebrand playing a little pass, sends that one back to Mitchell, who's going to spin off his man, feed nicely into the inside, and Hildebrand's shot stopped by Martel. Nice little give-and-go work there from the Outlaws, unsuccessful on the finish. Walsh right up Broadway. His pass going to miss Baker, but down low, it's going to be recovered by Jolivet. Jolivet trying to find some space as he runs up high and gets that pass dished off for Rudneski. Rudneski from the point, lets that go, and it ends up wide of the net. Entrop trying to get on top of it before it gets across half, unable to do so. Over and back violation. Ball going to be awarded to the Outlaws down in the left corner of the Rebels zone. Looking to pick it up is going to be Balachuk. Balachuk, ball up high, finds Hildebrand. Hildebrand from the point lets that one rip, and a nice bouncer there stopped by Martel, and the ball going to get fed out, but the back-in violation charge against the Rebels before it could get out of the stick, so it's going to be Outlaws ball, and it looks like we have a penalty upcoming here to Fort Saskatchewan. Bennett Fry going to be headed to the box, and it looks like the cross-check going to be the call, so your first power play of the game awarded to Beaumont as they trail by 2 in this contest. Starting with the ball up high is going to be Kaysen Brownlee. And here we go. The Rebels short. Outlaws with an opportunity. Brownlee dishes that one off quickly, gets it back up high. Everybody going to get a touch of the ball here likely before we see any real action on this power play. Up high with it now. Mitchell dishes that off, and a quick shot from the outside by Lewis ends up wide. Rebels able to pick up the rebound. Walsh trying to beat his man up the wall. Forced to turn back, and now just going to throw that one off into some space and go for the change. The Rebels start to commit to the rag of the ball. Entrop with it, right wing half boards, only challenged by one man thus far. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Dished all the way across the floor now. Nice feed to the inside there for Liam Elliott. He gets knocked to the ground after missing that pass. Penalty upcoming here to the Outlaws, I believe, on that hit that we just witnessed, and the shot from the Rebels. Rebound going to get picked up by the Outlaws, and a penalty upcoming here to Chase Richardson. So we're going to be evened up 4-on-4, and we'll see your first Rebels power play of the game in about 1 minute and 11 seconds. 10:15 to go in your opening frame. You're listening to Rebels Lacrosse on NetFront Sports. So Reed Lowe going to start with this ball at the point. Lots of space out there now, 4-on-4. Rebels have been able to capitalize on this many times this season. Dished off now. Rudneski sends that one across, and Tompkins going to have it now. Cycling behind the net are the Rebels. Nice behind the back pass into the middle, trying to find Rudneski. Was low, but unable to connect. 12 seconds on the shot clock. The Rebels still with the ball. Low into the middle now to dive across the crease, losing his handle in the process was Tompkins. The Outlaws able to pick up and get this one across half. McKenna goes up to the point. That pass going to be gathered in by Mitchell. Both Porter and Mitchell were there ready to grab that one, but nonetheless, it's Mitchell who's going to set this 4-on-4 action up. 30 seconds is what we have left at this standpoint of 4-on-4 before we'll see a Rebels power play. Ball fed back up high. Nice little head fake that time. Ball dished off. Second fake, and a quick shot onto Martel. He's able to make the stop out of the stick of Kieran Lewis. Rebels back the other way. Ball up the floor. Walsh just hanging on to it. 5 seconds left, 4-on-4. The Rebels about to get their man back, so getting their power play bodies on the floor. Pook up high for Lowe. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Lowe dishes that one off, finds Elliott. Back up high. Lowe here once again. Puts it behind the net. Rebels looking for some late action here on the shot clock, and it does get on to Couturier on the shot from low, but stopped. Outlaws out the other way, now trying to rag the ball themselves. Maybe a shorthanded opportunity. 30 seconds to go on this penalty kill, and a shot just ends up wide and out of play. So that's going to send us to our goalie water. 8:40 to go in the first. The Rebels leading this contest 2-0 and have about 26 seconds of power play time remaining after this break. Now time to get into your Rebels 2026 sponsors. First off, Leading Edge Physiotherapy, Cyclone Environmental Service, 5-2 Project Services, Lakeview Inns and Suites, Jiffy Lube, Armor Self-Storage, Sinbin Sports, Mel Martins Transfer Limited, Fort Sask Auto Body, First Call Heating, AC Plumbing. And a special thanks to the presenting sponsor for the Fort Saskatchewan Rebels this year, Noyen Construction. Been a good game thus far. Really, the only difference is that bad turnover from the Outlaws that got the scoring opened up, and then a great play by Reed Lowe. And we can't forget, really, the highlight reel finish by Liam Elliott on that opening goal. Not many players that could have pulled that off with the precision he did, and he's going to start with the ball up at the point to kick us off for this Rebels possession. Outlaws haven't been playing bad. They're out shooting the Rebels by 6 shots. Definitely have had more opportunities, I think, just looking to break through the middle of the floor more. A lot of these opportunities coming from the outside. Playing some pass now, Elliott with Jackson Baker. Now going to feed that one low. Pook right into the middle. A great play. They score. Pook connects with Lowe and make it a 3-0 lead as the Rebels convert on the 5-2 Projects power play. Second goal of the contest for Reed Lowe, and the Rebels officially in the driver's seat as they have been in many of their games this season. Took a win at home a Thursday night over the Crude. Haven't seen them drop one here yet this season. Of course, only having that one loss on the road in the South. Walsh dish that down to the left-hand side now as the Rebels get set back up. It's Tompkins with it. Tompkins looking for an option here from his cutters. Now going to dish that one off out to the outside. Pass off to the left here again. Now into the middle there. Was trying to set himself up in the middle was Tompkins. Now another opportunity, and he gets called in the crease. Not on the shot, but how he set himself up coming through. Referees blow it dead, and it's going to be Outlaws ball. Exactly 8 minutes to go on the clock. Out the other way comes Beaumont. Quade Manning going to dish that off to the right side. Porter tried to take the low lane, was forced back up high. Porter utilizing the left-hand side of the floor now. Hildebrand challenged high, dishes it off. Quade Manning back to Hildebrand, who lets that one go. Martel makes the stop once again. Rebels looking to head back out the other way, and they get across half. Rudneski dishes that one off to Baker. Baker settling things down now out high, and he loses his handle that time, trying to get the shot let go. Rebels pick up the rebound. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Dished off now, down to the left-hand side. Reed Lowe right into the middle there, trying to find his man in Elliott. Unable to connect. Rebels get the rebound again. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Another one whistled wide, and this one going to get stopped up in the Outlaws' crease. Opportunity for them to move back north here once again. Pass off, Mitchell. A little bit tight to the over and back violation there for the Outlaws. Maybe some leniency from the referees. Also a little too tight to call. If we had instant replay, maybe that's one you'd see talked about. Nonetheless, Porter back to work with it from the outside. He scores. There it is. Jesse Porter for the Outlaws finally gets his squad on the board. 3-1. Only trailing by 2 are the Outlaws. So we'll approach center once again. Hui and Despin's going to battle for this face-off once again. Outlaws trying to get some momentum rolling, out shooting the Rebels 13-6. But behind in this game. A power play goal and a self-made mistake, the difference. Along the right-hand side now, Rudneski slowing things down as his offense gets out. Jolivet, the last man off the bench for the Rebels. Rudneski off to the left side now. Elliott, for my apologies, that Eric Tompkins, who sends it back to the right side for Entrop. Trying to push his way into the middle is Rylan Connors, who lets it go, and that one going to be stopped by Couturier. Ball pops out, and it's going to be the Outlaws back across half. Owen McKenna, challenged by 2 Rebels, waiting for a passing option, now going to cut back up along the boards and finds that option. Carter Mitchell with it. Mitchell has a lane free and wide that time as he sends it just to the right of the cage is now Porter. Going to get the rebound. Another shot coming from the point there, stopped by Martel. Low off the pads. And that one outside shot sneaking through from Porter, but again for the Outlaws, it's got to be getting inside. Not seeing too many cutters from them to start off this contest, relying on that outside action. It's resulted in a high shot total, but not a lot of a conversion on the boards. That's playing into the Rebels' hand. A lot of the time we've seen them challenged in this season has been when teams are able to get to the inside on them, but that, of course, a credit to the Rebels' defense as well that you don't see it all that often. Outlaws ready to push here once again. Carter Mitchell coming down along the left-hand side, going to be challenged here now by Reese Walsh. Mitchell going to make a nice move down to the inside there and gets turned back out the other way, throws that ball up high. Off to the right-hand side now. Outlaws looking for an opportunity. 8 seconds to go on the shot clock. Lewis cycling up high, has a lane, gets to the middle, and he gets hooked up there. No penalty coming, and a low shot onto Martel, and oh my! How did he get to that one? It was a perfectly executed quick stick from Quade Manning, but sliding across the net was Martel to make that stop, and now Jolivet down in the right corner, getting bullied here as the Outlaws aggressive on the ball as it's popped out loose now, and we got a 3-on-4 battle here. 3 Rebels, 4 Outlaws digging at this ball. 8 seconds on the shot clock for Fort Saskatchewan. Not going to matter as the Outlaws end up coming up with it. That a brooding play, and I love it. Richie Lucid holding this one up high now. Lucid challenged by Walsh. Looking for a place to scoop this pass off to, and he does get it free now for Quade Manning. Manning down to the only goal scorer for the Outlaws so far, Porter, who chucks that one behind the net. Now we're seeing some more middle action here from the Outlaws on this possession. Ball back out high. From the point comes the shot. They score. There it is. Kieran Lewis, his team back within 1 just like that. Under 4 minutes to go in the first period, and we're going to return to center. We saw a close finish last night in some Senior B action. It was an 11-10 win for the Rebels in that one. Could we be treated to another interesting one like that today? I love it when it stays close. We resume from center here once again. Ball pops out loose out of the face-off draw. Outlaws trying to pick it up. It's still loose as Despins gets knocked down, and it's found its way down into the Outlaws zone. It's Radneski comes in, able to pick that one up, and now a penalty upcoming here to Beaumont. So 6-on-5 and 23 seconds on the shot clock for Fort Saskatchewan. So lots of time to set up here. Still with it up high, it's Radneski. Holding on to it here is Jolivet going to go for the change, and that's going to bring out Liam Elliott. Rebels not eager to make a move here until the last seconds of this shot clock. 6 to go as Baker whips it from the outside low, and it ends up wide and out of play. 3:21 on the clock, and the second 5-2 Projects power play for the Rebels about to get underway as Hudson Cook heads to the box. It's going to be 2 minutes for the slash that he will serve. 1 for 1 on the power play today are the Rebels. 0 for 1 are the Outlaws, as it was negated by a penalty taken earlier on. And here we are back underway. Liam Elliott starts with this ball up top, dishes it off to Lowe. Watch for the little pass action here as Baker and Elliott playing some pass here from the point. 18 seconds on the shot clock. Baker going to step in, makes a nice move to the inside and gets that one on to Couturier, but he makes the stop. 1:43 to go in the power play. The Outlaws moving out. Ball bounces up the middle, trying to gather it in that time. Was Chase Richardson unable to do so, and Pook stole it away, sent it down to Baker, but that pass misses as he's knocked down to the ground. Back the other way come the Outlaws again. Mitchell trying to push shorthanded here. 22 seconds on the shot clock, 1:23 in the Rebels power plays. Mitchell with it. Going to chuck that one back up high now, finds Quade Manning. Manning happy to just sit with this ball up high as he remains unchallenged. 6 seconds on the shot clock now. Going to look for an opportunity is Beaumont. Push back out. Hildebrand from the outside rolls that one low. And it's going to be Rebels ball headed back the other way. Picked back up now. Elliott going to cross half with it. 56 seconds to go on the man advantage. So the 5-2 Projects power play continues for the Rebels. Pook throws that one off, finds Radnescu, goes to Elliott. Elliott behind the net now. The Rebels looking for an opening in the middle, and they got it all alone. There was Tompkins, and he missed the net with his opportunity. Was realistically unchallenged there on that shot. So the Rebels working hard to turn this ball back over. It's going to be the loose ball push over and back, charged against the Rebels. So Outlaws ball here, only 27 seconds to go on the Rebels power play. 22 on the shot clock. Just settling it down here is Carter Mitchell. Now going to be challenged by Zorniak, so escapes out high for some space and hits Porter. 10 seconds to go now. That shot just wide from Porter, and back the other way are going to go the Rebels here as the over and back violation charged against the Outlaws. Only 4 seconds remain on the power play for Fort Saskatchewan as Elliott going to come in low, pick that one up, feeds it up high. Entrop now. Thought he had a lane, got closed on quite quickly there. Now it's going to be too many men charged against Fort Saskatchewan, I believe. And just as their power play comes to an end, they're going to go on the penalty kill as the Rebels move to 1 for 2 on the day. And the second opportunity coming up for the Outlaws. Players talking it over up at the point. It looks like it's going to be Kaysen Brownlee who starts with it up high here. 1:17 to go in the period. 2 fresh minutes on the power play for the Outlaws. We'll see if it carries over or if they can convert. Zorniak pressured way out wide on his man as a quick shot comes from the outside. Rebound gathered quickly by Kieran Lewis, but another good stop by Martel. Outlaws remain with it. Porter working the crease here on the power play. Goes back up high now. Left side of the floor being utilized by the Outlaws as a shot on the Martel out of the stick of Mitchell. Stopped, and now Martel going to stretch the floor here on the shorthanded play and almost had his man on the Hail Mary. 47 seconds to go in the period. Outlaws headed back out the other way. Mitchell sends that one down low along the left hand into the corner. Gets the return feed back up high. Into the point now. Balachuk to Mitchell. Gets a return feed. Balachuk, 12 seconds on the shot clock. Dishes it to the right side of the floor. It's Porter all the way across. Mitchell cycling up high. Looking for an option. Lets it go. Stopped by Martel. 20 seconds on the clock. Outlaws almost had it, but knocked down to the ground. That time was Mitchell. Digging at the loose ball now are both sides, and it's going to be Fort Saskatchewan that comes up with it. Zorniak spins back and just rolls that one up the floor, and he finds Nikipolo, who's happy to just sit on this. Maybe not, as Joel Vett with 2 seconds left dishes that one off and all alone. What a stop there at the end by Couturier. So after 20 minutes, it's going to be the Rebels who remain out on top in this contest, 3-2. 43 seconds of power play time going to carry over into the second period. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. My name's Aiden Bolsgaard. Tristan Shaw is on your score bug, and Abe, of course, on your camera. Don't get too far. More lacrosse action coming up on NetFront Sports. Hello and welcome back to Rebels Lacrosse here on NetFront Sports. My name is Aiden Bolsgaard. Tristan Shaw's on your score bug and Abe is on your camera, and we're back underway here in the second period. The Rebels have 38 seconds of penalty time to kill off here to kick us off, but still lead this game 3-2 over the Beaumont Outlaws, who are doing a good job of challenging the first place team in the north here on the road. They set up their power play here. 18 seconds on the shot clock as this ball comes up high as they start to work things around. Mitchell to the point. Brownlee trying to get that one back in the middle. It comes outside to Mitchell and a stop by Martel to kick us off. 10 seconds to go on this Outlaws power play. As moving this one back across half is the Rebels, Ashton Johnson. Gonna dish that up high to Jolivet. As the Rebels are back, 5-on-5 now. It's Entrop feeding that one nicely in the middle. Jolivet whistled that one just wide and went through the crease to get the rebound. So this is going to be turned back over to the Outlaws. So they're going to work their way back up the floor. Colby Hain trying to make his way around Jack Nickel. Forced to dish that one off, and it ends up into the Outlaws bench. Turned over to Fort Saskatchewan. Rylan Connors works that one down along the left-hand side. Going to feed it back up for Reed Lowe. Lowe back to Connors now. He's going to bob his way to the inside. Sends that one across and not able to connect in the middle. Ball turned back over to Beaumont as they rush it back up the floor now. It's Owen McKenna. Dishes that one into the middle as that shot let go by Marcus Hildebrand. Stopped by Martel. Now rush back the other way for the Rebels. Zorniak in alone, and he stopped on the other side by Couturier. A rebound and another one. Through the crease again are the Rebels. That one charged against Liam Elliott. So the Outlaws a free exit out of their zone once again. 18-20 to go in the second period. Don't worry if you're just coming back. No goals as of yet. As the Outlaws back to work with 15 seconds here on the shot clock. Hildebrand dishes that one off to the right side. It's Jesse Porter with it now. Porter, big shot from the outside, and that one ends up just wide. Referee signaling over and back if the Outlaws touch it up, and indeed it's going to be whistled against them. Now run back the other way for the Rebels, and alone they score! There it is, Ashton Johnson reestablishing the 2-goal lead for Fort Saskatchewan. First goal of the contest. And a throwback here to the old Rebels goal song from when I was about 12 years old. Bang, bang, Bominos, Bominos. Also used by the Calgary Roughnecks, I believe, at one point. So that kind of an interesting one. Not a little moment for myself, I suppose, as the Rebels just chuck the ball down the floor, and it's going to be turned over here to the Outlaws. Outlaws to work now. Ball fed back up high. Hildebrand off to the right-hand side now. Looking to strike back and get back within one here. Ball fed off and unable to be handled that time by Hildebrand. Comes across half. And that's going to get the play blown dead as that shot clock expires. Now the Rebels come in 3-on-1. A nice feed to Entrop in front. He scores! There it is for Mr. Entrop, his first of the contest, and the Rebels open it up exactly how they were hoping to in the second. Now a 3-goal lead, their largest of the afternoon. Back to center here, Despens. Gonna line up against Wheat. Walsh going to carry this one down into the Outlaws zone. It's fed back across now. Eric Tompkins. Tompkins dishes it low. Into the inside now, and Elliott unable to gather that one in. Reed Lowe picks it back up, sends a shot, and it ends up wide of the net. Rebound gathered once again. Rudneski now dishes that one off, and Elliott shot, he scores! And there's another one for the Rebels, the second of the game for Liam Elliott. 16:37 to go in the second period. The Rebels now leading by 4. That his 5th goal of the season. This ball comes loose out of the face-off draw. Outlaws trying to get on top of it, and it bounces free into the Rebels bench, and they're going to call that Rebels ball. Rudneski carrying this one in now as the Rebels try to continue the pressure and find a spread in the score here. Already at 4 is Jolivet going to bob in low, dives across the crease and going to get called on the violation. Ball turned back over. The Outlaws back into the offensive zone. Fed up to the point now, it's Porter. Trying to find his way around Miller Beck. Gets stopped up and now looking for a lane or passing option. Pick going to get set for him, and he does get some momentary space. Good job that time by Rudneski to collapse as Porter gets into the crease, and it's going to be turned over to the Rebels. Ball up along the left-hand side, a dangerous pass there. That time from Bennett Fry. Nonetheless, Fort Saskatchewan back to work here in the offensive zone. Tompkins trying to find a lane. Fry opens himself up in the middle and gets dropped down. Rebound couldn't be gathered by Fort Saskatchewan. Back the other way now come the Outlaws. Goulet knocked out of his stick. Now some back and forth action here as the Rebels back into the offensive zone. Entrop steps in and he's stopped. That time by Couturier. Zorniak picks back up the rebound. Fresh 30 for Fort Saskatchewan. Entrop dishes off for Tompkins. Tompkins stepping in. Puts that one behind the net. And that one going to be dished off. And trying to dump it in from behind the net that time was Elliott. Called on the crease violation again. Back the other way come the Outlaws. Offense getting back out on the floor now. Manning. Down to the left side for Mitchell. Mitchell, 10 seconds to work with here on the shot clock, looking for an option. Now feeds that one to the inside and turned away there was Kieran Lewis. Now has to hook back up high to try to get a shot on net. Dishes that one off, and Hildebrand forced to just drop that one where it lies as the shot clock expires. Rebels with it now, Ashton Johnson. Johnson passes it off, and now I'll go for the change. That gets Entrop back on the floor. Nice pass to the inside for Jolivet. He scores. Ethan Jolivet is first of the afternoon. And the Rebels now leading by 5 by a score of 7-2. Jolivet came into today with 15 points. 5 of those goals make that goal number 6 for him on the season. As we get set at center here once again for the face-off, Despins going to pull that one free. Has it in his stick, trying to pass it out. It's going to be Rebels ball. Zorniak picks that one up and passes it down along the left side for Tompkins. Tompkins starting to settle things down now. Throws it down to the left. Crease spot is stepping inside to take that shot was Elliott. Rebound pops out and he gets it himself. Fresh 30 for the Rebels now to work with. Entrop gets that pass. Off to the right side now. Rudneski back up to the point. Nice behind the back pass. Just unable to connect with Elliott that time from Tompkins. And the Outlaws going to move this one back out, trailing by 5. Loose it. Brings this one down along the right-hand side. Feeds it back up high for Porter. Porter moving it down the right, puts that one back behind the net. Fed up high by Hildebrand. Hildebrand hits Mitchell. Mitchell trying to go back across the floor. That one going to get knocked out of the air, and the Rebels trying to go for a rush back the other way. It's Rylan Connors. Connors knocked out of his stick, gathered back in by the Outlaws. A great chase down that time from Kieran Lewis. Lewis up along the right side for Porter. Porter going to step across half now, challenged by Connors. Porter up high, he finds Hildebrand. Hildebrand down to the left corner now. Brownlee across, and that one going to end up wide. Rebound gathered by the Rebels there as Bennett Fry picks it up and dishes it across the floor, able to hit Eric Tompkins. Tompkins back down onto the offensive side. Spinning off his man, Jolivet gives him the pick. Nice feed to the inside, and Jolivet just unable to gather that one back in. Nickel feeds that one off. Tompkins settling things back down, goes across now for Radneski, who's just unable to settle it down, but Entrop picks up the rebound swiftly. Entrop across, picked up by Tompkins as he's funneling in towards the middle now. Tompkins dishes off Pook from the outside, whistles one wide, and not often you get this far into a game for Dylan Pook, and unable to find the back of the net, is looking a little frustrated as he heads to the box, but nonetheless, I'm sure comforted by the lead for his team. As now the Outlaws get set back up on offense. It's Mitchell challenged along the outside by Nickel, forced to dump that one off. Hildebrand now trying to settle it down, picked up by the Rebels. Nice stick there by Hildebrand, trying to pick it up as he got it loose from the stick. Outlaws nonetheless going to be able to hold it in the zone. Kieran Lewis sends that one across the floor. He hits Mitchell. 23 seconds to work with on the shot clock. Mitchell trying to step to the inside, blocked away by Nikipolo. Turning back up high towards the point, goes back across for Porter, who couldn't quite settle that one in, and now Nickel trying to get it in his stick and settle it down. Knocked down to the floor. Outlaws pick that one back up, and a ball just dished down to the corner and still loose. Oh my, this ball everywhere right now, but Rebels finally settling it down, and Baker couldn't pick that rebound up. Ball bounces high. It looks like it's going to be Outlaws' ball now officially. Someone settles it down. Lucid along the right side hits Kieran Lewis. Lewis scanning his options. Lets a big one go from the outside and nails the post. So no over and back going to be charged. And it looks like they're going to award it back to the Outlaws here. Not entirely sure why, unless that one bounced out of play. Nonetheless, it's Carter Mitchell going to work here once again. Challenged by the Rebels defense. It's Connors out on him, and he'll ditch that one up to the point there, and Quade Manning has to go back and settle it down as he missed that pass. Manning sends it off to Lewis. Lewis challenged high here, and he just dumps one wide of the net. Under 11 to go here in the second, and play going to get blown dead. It's Rebels ball. Play blown back in. Baker in all alone now. Not going to get the passes. There it is, getting through on the shot from Reese Walsh. Puts one home. Baker, kind of the decoy man in front of the net that time, sent the defender back. And Walsh just able to walk in and let one go, and the Rebels continue the scoring display. So Rebels goals in this contest from Jolivet, Reed Lowe, Ashton Johnson, Reese Walsh, and Liam Elliott. Entrop as well. On the other side for the Outlaws, it's Kieran Lewis and Jesse Porter. Ball down into the zone now. Tompkins ready to go back to work for the Rebels as we approach the halfway mark of this contest. Radneski back into the middle that time for Tompkins, and Radneski going to be there to pick up the rebound here once again as Lowe gets plowed over in the 24. Back up high. Pook lets it go, and that one going to be stopped by Couturier. Elliott trying to chase this one down. Ball recovered there swiftly by Lucid. Sends that one up the floor now. It's going to be McKenna pushing. Finds his man, and Hildebrand inside, and a great stop by Martel. Play going to be blown dead. We have a penalty upcoming here. Cross-checking going to be the call, charged, and I believe Reed Lowe, the man, headed to the box for the Rebels. So the Outlaws an opportunity to break the scoring streak here for the Rebels with the man advantage. Third power play of the game for Beaumont. Starting up high with it is Kaysen Brownlee. Going to dish that one off Hildebrand and gets it back up high. Brownlee across Lewis. Lewis back to Brownlee, now utilizing the corner. Watch the man behind the net here for the Outlaws. It's a quick shot blocked there in front. I believe off Alex Orniak as he shakes that one off. Outlaws have to chase it back down behind their own net. 7 seconds on the shot clock, forced to send a pass all the way up. Porter receives it, challenged here by Walsh. Double team right now from Nikipolo and Walsh, and the play going to be blown dead on the shot clock expiration. And it looks like we're going to stop for the goalie water as the play blown dead. 9:41 to go in your middle frame. We're more than halfway through, and the Rebels lead this contest 8-2. Well, trailing on the shot board at 23 to what I believe is 19. There we go. That's what Tristan Shaw has for us here. Nonetheless, this is a perfect time to read out your 2026 Fort Saskatchewan Rebels sponsors, starting with Leading Edge Physiotherapy, then Cyclone Environmental Service, 5-2 Project Services, Lakeview Inns and Suites, Jiffy Lube, Armor Self-Storage, Sin Bin Sports, Mel Martins Transfer Limited, Fort Sask Auto Body, and First Call Heating, AC Plumbing, and of course a special thanks to the Rebels presenting sponsor this season, Noyen Construction. Rebels ready to get back into action here as the Outlaws going to be the second team back out onto the floor. It'll be their ball. Rebels ball to kick us off as they have another minute 28 of penalty time to kill off here. Starting up with it at the point is Radneski. Radneski challenged up high here by Owen McKenna. No double thrown yet by the Outlaws. Here's Jolivet spinning off his man. Going to go back up high to find Radneski once again. A fake pass there. Now gives that one off. Entrop inviting the pressure here. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. A nice swim dodge there by Entrop. Gets loose in the middle of the floor. Now dishes that one off and just losing the handle that time. Looked to be Elliott. So now on the expiration of the shot clock, the Outlaws headed back out the other way. A little bit of a miss pass there. Easily gathered back in by Colby Hain. Dishes it up ahead for Kieran Lewis. It's the power play back to work with 47 seconds remaining. A little bit of pass being played here. Mitchell with the ball now for the Outlaws. Sends it back across. Lewis and Mitchell continue to go back and forth to each other. Is Mitchell going to let one go low, and it ends up wide of the net. Porter able to settle it down. Do get a reset of the shot clock here, actually, the Outlaws. So fresh 30 to work with. 22 seconds on the power play as that one had to be stopped by the right shoulder of Martel that time. Nonetheless, the Rebels out the other way, 2-on-1. It's Nickel stepping in here. All alone, coming in with Fry, who lets it go, and it's going to get waved off on the crease violation. Outlaws back the other way. Rebels got to change quickly here. Waste no time talking about it. Back across half, brings it Kieran Lewis. Lewis to Mitchell. Mitchell back across now. Lewis trying to dodge around. Despin sent it across there, trying to find Hildebrand, but knocked out of the air, and Martel just going to feed that lightly up Broadway. Picked up by Connors, who's going to rush this one down now. Connors down to the corner. Baker coming in across, going to be able to get that pass, but no shot on net. We're back 5-on-5 now as the Rebels successfully kill off another one. Moving pick charge against Fort Saskatchewan, trying to push the ball with some pace the other way is Mitchell. Met by the Rebels turn defender in Reed Lowe. So had to turn back and wait. A nice feed into the middle now. Ball comes to the end boards. Picked back up by Belachuk. Belachuk up high hits Manning. Manning challenged out high here by Miller-Beck. Coming in to set the pick is Porter and gets it. Outlaws continue to go to work. 4 seconds on the shot clock and a short side shot that time. Stopped by Martel. Ball back the other way. It's going to be a rush here for Fort Saskatchewan as Tompkins steps in. Dishes that one back to Lowe, who scores. There it is, the third goal for the Rebels' leading scorer, Reed Lowe. And now increasing their lead even more here in the second as the Rebels establish domination. 7:09 to go in the frame. Wheat gonna line up against Despins here in the face-off draw once again. Despins brought that ball in on his weak side and dished it off. Zorniak goes into the middle there, trying to find Elliott. That pass doesn't connect. Back the other way come the Outlaws, trying to create the odd man rush. Owen McKenna turned back out to the boards, trying to use them to brace himself and get off, and he does so successfully as Kieran Lewis going to get the pass from him up high. Lewis to Hildebrandt. Hildebrandt surveying, lets one go wide that time. Recovery going to be at the top for Lewis. His big shot from the outside goes off the chest of Martel. Reset of the shot clock, but the Rebels able to pick that one up. Jolivet rushes across half now. Settling things down with 6:17 to go in the second. Jolivet along the left side. Back up to the point now. It's Rudneski. Stepping in right down the middle. Lets it go, and that one going to be stopped by Couturier as he'll pick that up in his crease and leave it there for Liam Gillay. Gillay right up Broadway. Martel going to receive that pass from him and now dish this out to Connors. Connors right up the middle finds Rudneski, who tried to pass that one off, and it gets tipped out into the Rebels bench. Last off the Outlaws. So it's going to be a Rebels ball here. Tompkins picks it up in front of his bench. Heads to his strong side of the floor. Tompkins dished off, hits Elliott. Elliott looking for a lane in the middle on the pick and roll there, and we have some players going at it here down in the corner now. The referee jumping right on top of it. And probably getting sent out of this game is going to be Rudneski, as he was tied up with Brandon Hui. Be interesting to see if we can stick in this game, if he'll just be sent to the box. Didn't seem to be the perpetrator there. Referees, I'm sure, are going to talk things over. Conversations continuing. 5:39 to go in the second period. And unfortunately, I don't get any live scoring update of what the calls are from the timekeeper's booth. Which does trip me up sometimes. Spend my winters calling games for the Devon Extreme of the Alberta Junior Hockey League, and everything's coming right to you on your computer, which kind of sends me back to the minor sports days when I was still trying to work my way up here into junior sports calling games, and you got to be more aware for sure. And that time, unfortunately, just couldn't get a pickup on the referee's calls. But I think we're going to have an Outlaws power play here when we resume. Going to the box for the Rebels is Davin Jenner to go take a seat and serve this. I would think the extra being assessed to Rudneski on that play, but looks like maybe nothing assessed to the Outlaws at all, as Brandon Hui remains on the bench and nobody going to serve anything. So just a flat-out 5-minute power play here for the Outlaws coming up. This can make a big difference in this contest. They can just keep scoring if they're able to do so. An opportunity to close the gap as they trail by 7. Ball up high now. Brownlee dishes that one off. Sent across by Porter. Mitchell dishes it off. Lewis now trying to make his way to the inside. Still has possession. Lets it go, and it ends up wide of Martel and out of play. Rebels going to stretch this ball. And it's Walsh in all alone for the second time this game, and he scores. There's the short-handed goal for Reese Walsh. His second of the contest. It's the Rebels not worried at all. Came into this contest with 2 goals and has doubled that total today, now moving up to 4. Zorniak going to grab this ball off the faceoff as the Rebels going to go rag some time. Already 30 seconds off this power play for the Outlaws. The major penalty assessed to Rudneski. So we're not going to see him for the rest of the game because he was given the game misconduct as well. As Reed Lowe fires one off the post on the behind the back shot. That's some precision as well. So the two best opportunities of the Outlaws power play so far belong to the Rebels. So Beaumont going to have to settle in here. Mitchell doing exactly that now as he passes it down to the corner for Brownlee. Brownlee back to Mitchell. Sent back across now. Lewis to Mitchell. His low shot stopped by Martel, and he'll pick up the rebound. Dish that off to the corner. Moved ahead now by Nick Kipolo. He gets Jack Nickel. Nickel to the right-hand side finds Baker. Baker going to take a big shot there, and that one ends up wide. Connors. Another opportunity had to be stopped by Couturier. 3:20 to go in the Outlaws power play. Rebels out shooting them here. Short-handed. Back up the floor. Rhett McIsaac dishes that one off and goes for the change. This is the Outlaws power play with 3 minutes to go and 10 seconds on the shot clock here. Hildebrand sent that one up high, missed pass there. Brownlee trying to go back up to the point for Porter, and they're saying off the Rebels. But nonetheless, the possession going to come to an end for the Outlaws, and the Rebels going to be able to pick that one up now down in the left corner. Looks like Jolivet going to go in and pick that one up. Dylan Pook out there with him. Elliott and Entrop. So all offense guys out here on the penalty kill for the Rebels as they're, I think, going to continue to look for shots here. 2:40 to go. Ball down to the left side. Jolivet sends that one across Entrop. Entrop working his way down. Lets that one go and lost a handle on his stick in the process. It looks like it snapped on him there as it's in two pieces. So an unfortunate misplay there. Under 3 minutes to go in the second. 2:17 to go in the Outlaws power play. Still unable to convert one. So far, our negative one on this one. That's a lot of ones there. My apologies. Nonetheless, Lewis holding on to it now. Feeds it back up high for Brownlee. Brownlee down in the right corner. Porter back up high. Lewis lets a shot go. Stopped by Martel off that right pad. Reset of the shot clock. 1:55 to go on the power play. Ball back up high. Lewis across. Mitchell with a lane. Lets it go and scores. Carter Mitchell gets his first through after many shots. Gets his team back within 7. 2:26 to go in the period, and the power play going to continue for the Outlaws on the major power play. Major penalty, I should say. Desmond's going to line up for this draw here against Brandon Hui, who drew the major, and good to see him back out on the floor after the aggressive play from Radneski. Zorniak going to pick up this ball off the face-off and bring this in along his weak side into the Outlaw zone, trying to make a cut into the middle, and now chasing after the ball that popped loose, but it's going to be the Outlaws who pick that one back up. Outlaws back up the floor. Rebels counting out the 8-second violation against the Outlaws. Maybe a little unhappy with the count of the referee so far. Nonetheless, referee paying no mind. Probably what you should do. As it's Hildebrand coming across, and another shot block that time by Zorniak. 1:44 to go in the period. Is play going to be blown dead on the expiration of the shot clock. Rebels back the other way. Only a minute to kill off left on this major penalty, and have not allowed a goal, or sorry, did allow the one from Carter Mitchell. My apologies. As this ball back up high now, Nikipolo going to send it down to the corner. Working behind the net with it are the Rebels. Dish back up to Baker, and that one going to be given away. And Tompkins coming off the bench to try to pick it up, but unable to do so. And now it's Chase Richardson down low. Richardson stepping in, lets it go and scores. Chase Richardson getting his team on the board once again, and the deficit shrinks down to 6. 2 goals on the power play, which makes them +1 after surrendering the shorthanded goal. And now we're going to go 5-on-5. Now that news to me that the penalty gets wiped after the 2 goals, but I guess that's something for me to look into tonight in my spare time, maybe in between these periods. Ball picked up by Jolivet, a 3-on-0 rush here for the Rebels. Jolivet steps in and gets it back. 11th goal of the game for the Rebels, and the second for Ethan Jolivet. So just as soon as we go back even, the Rebels able to convert. And we'll return to center here once again. Wheat against Despins in this draw. 1:04 on the clock in the period. Ball pulled out by the Outlaws and brought across half. Goulet. Up to the point now for Porter. Porter going to dish it off to the right side. Lewis stepping in. Big shot from the outside. Martel kicks that one away. Picked up here by Connors, and he's going to go on a rush with Tompkins. Tompkins in all alone. Stopped that time by Couturier. The rebound pops out behind the net. Play going to be blown dead. They're saying the walkthrough there by Tompkins in the crease. So Outlaws awarded possession as Connors pressuring on his man and Mitchell up the floor, but Mitchell going to dish that off and go for a change as he finds Hildebrand. Hildebrand up high. Lewis across. Ball comes into the middle there and a stop by Martel. Picked up by Walsh. And it looks like a timeout called here by Fort Saskatchewan. Maybe a look to go 6-on-5 here in the last 12.3 seconds of the period. Leading by 7. Can never be too safe, I suppose, but we'll see. Even when up in a game, you want to make sure that you're having real game situation practice at it for when you do come into that tight contest. I think that's exactly what we're going to see from Fort Saskatchewan here, 6-on-5 in the last 12 seconds. So going to be a little bit of a faster move, as a lot of the time you see teams blow this dead around the 25-second mark, in around there, and they have to kind of sit on the ball until the last 10 seconds. Not the case for the Rebels. You're going to see that movement right away here, I think, from them. Referee trying to get the clock adjusted to the proper seconds here. I believe it was 12.6 it was showing before the timeout. And it looks like we're ready to go. Here we are. Entrop going to move this one in now for the Rebels. Dish that off to the right side. Has Baker. 7 seconds on the clock. Feed to the middle. That one going to miss. Picked up on the rebound here. Tompkins from the point. Lets it go and whistles it wide of the net. Up high again. Another opportunity. Going to go for null as time has run out here in the second. 40 minutes are in the books in this lacrosse game, and the Rebels are leading the Outlaws 11-4. When we resume in the third, it will be 5-on-5 action as the Outlaws try to draw near in this one. My name's Aiden Bullsgard. Tristan Shaw is on the score bug, and Apes running the camera. We'll be back in about 10 minutes on NetFront Sports. Hello and welcome back inside the Jubilee Recreation Center in Fort Saskatchewan, Alberta. It's the Rebels taking on the Outlaws, and they lead this one 11-4 in the third and final period of this contest. We are underway from center. Despins pulls that one out, and the Rebels right away back on offense. It's Tompkins with it, settling up high, going to feed off to the right for Pook. Pook held scoreless in this game, which is of notoriety. We haven't seen that yet really here for him this season as Jolivet up high now, going to whip one off the post. Tompkins able to get the rebound. Reset of the shot clock here for the Rebels. Feed down to the left side now, back up top. Baker looking for a lane, lets that one go, and it's blocked. And dropping down to the floor here on that play is Carter Mitchell. Trainer off the bench, Hannah Dixon, and it looks like he might have caught that under the helmet. So we're going to hope for Carter Mitchell here. He was up to his feet momentarily, but now taking a second. And he is back to his feet now. Applause from the crowd and the benches. So we're going to watch for that and hope we see Carter Mitchell back in this contest. So he's going to head straight to the back of the bench as we get ready to get back underway in this contest. Jolivet, he's got it. Up high now, going to dish that to the right side for Baker. Baker stepping in now to the inside, lets that one go, and he scores. Jackson Baker getting himself on the score sheet here. And make that a 12-4 lead for the Rebels, 19-19 to go in this third period. Despins in against Wheat for this face-off drop. Despins pulls that ball out and backhands it away to Reese Walsh. Walsh dishes across the center line and finds Lowe as the Rebels back in the offensive zone here. Once again, a nice feed into the middle there and stopped by Couturier. Outlaws trying to move back out the other way. Ball pops out loose. The 8-second violation going to be charged against them. Tompkins going to pick that one up as the Rebels go back on offense here on the turnover. Tompkins. Back over to Entrop. Entrop. Into the middle, alone was Lowe in that. A nice stop there by Couturier. As Lowe had all day to let that one go, and he's no slouch with the ball. 18.5 to go in the third. Turn back over to the Rebels here again. Sloppy to kick off this third by the Outlaws. With it is Connors here. So he's going to cycle it back up high. The loose ball play there, or the hidden ball play, I should say, by the Rebels. Is Jolivet now going to spin off and step inside. Forced to the outside again as Pook lets one go. Good job to stay out of the crease, but stopped by Couturier. Connors back up high here again. Tompkins putting his hand out. Settle down, lots of time. 20 seconds on the shot clock for the Rebels. Jolivet sends that across Pook. Jolivet with it once again, lets it go, and that one going to be stopped again by Couturier. Outlaws looking to break out here once again, this time cleanly is what would be ideal in their coach's mind. 17:40 to go in the third. That pass dished off quickly to Hildebrand. Hildebrand cycles that one to his man coming off the bench in Porter. Porter across, stepping inside, let go there by Hildebrand, stopped by Martel. Martel off to the right side. Bounce pass ahead for Zorniak, and he's going to run this one across half. 17:15 to go in the third. Zorniak. Up high, he's got Entrop, who will go to the left side of the floor for Tompkins. Tompkins down to the left corner, ball cycled back up high. Entrop with it here once again. Entrop looking for a shot, lets it go, and that one stopped by Couturier. Outlaws ball here once again. Moved up the floor. Chase Richardson. Under 17 minutes to go in the third. Richardson lets that one go. Ends up wide of the net. Outlaws continuing to go to work here. This one's sent across there, and Richardson just unable to gather that one as was a little ahead of him. Nickel challenging him for the loose ball. Comes free. Nickel has it now. Sent off to Connors. Connors going to go right down Broadway all by himself, and a great stop there by Couturier. Baker going to settle things down and go back on offense here for the Rebels. Baker. Up high Tompkins, sent across Jolivet. Jolivet back to Baker now, challenging here on the Outlaws defense. Sends the behind-the-back shot towards the net. It ends up wide, 6 seconds on the shot clock. Elliott going to pick that one up, and his shot from the outside does get on to Couturier. He'll stop it easily with his stick, and now look to move this one back up the floor. Pass ahead to Kieran Lewis. Lewis to the left side now, hits Owen McKenna. McKenna driving the line down there onto Martel, and he's able to make the stop on that shot. 15:40 to go in the third. Pass up along the right-hand side. Nikipolo going to step this across half for the Rebels. Nikipolo stops up now, looking for a pass, sends that one across, and it's going to be right into the stick of Bennett Fry, who gets out on some offense here. Fry saw him on offense a lot when he was playing with the Crude Lacrosse Club, and has made a transition to the transition position here for the Rebels. It's now up the middle come the Outlaws, and a little bit of rough stuff there as Entrop collides on the moving pick. It's going to be Rebels ball. Pook going to pick this one up and bring it back across half for Fort Saskatchewan. Approaching 15 minutes to go in the third. Pook to Jolivet. Jolivet to Tompkins. He throws that behind the net. Trying to cycle it into the middle here. Is Lowe lets that one go, and it's stopped by Couturier. Outlaws back into the offensive zone now. Mitchell back out on the floor, so that good to see for Beaumont. Dishes it off for Porter, who lets that one go, and it's stopped by the leg of Martel. Fed back up now. Mitchell. Cross to Porter again. 20 seconds on the shot clock here for the Outlaws. Porter, a bounce pass to the point. Moving inside, Brownlee now, knocked down to the ground, and ball going to pop out loose. On top of it is Martel. And it looks like it's going to be turned back over to the Outlaws. Here's a nice feed in front, and a shot stopped by Martel. Another good job by him. It's been a great game between the pipes today for Mr. Martel. The Rebels back down in the offensive zone now. Elliott scoops that one back out in front, and a quick shot on net, stopped as Walsh was looking for his third of the game. Ball back up high. Tompkins holding on to it now, fakes it off to Baker. My apologies, it was Baker with it, so Tompkins able to trick me that time as he tried to feed it inside to Elliott. Quick shot from the outside from Elliott. And that one's going to find its way into the net. And I believe that'll end up being Elliott's goal. If Baker would have got a touch on it, the play would have been blown dead. So make that the third goal of the game for Elliott, or at least that's my assumption. .33 to go in the third period. The Rebels lead this one 13-4. Should be. Maybe 13-5. Now I'm confused. It is 13-4 according to my notes here, as it is on the game clock. Tristan Shaw confusing me with the score bug. Going to be awarded to the Outlaws now. As a quick shot there, stopped by Martel. A little bit of confusion up here. Tristan scanning the the replays here through the stream to try to confirm his own craziness. I think he must have put a Rebels goal up on the board. Or sorry, a Rebels goal up on the Outlaws side. A shot on goal is what he was trying to record, but nonetheless, 13-4 is your score. It's going to be Outlaws ball down in the left corner of the Rebels zone. It's going to be Porter picking it up. Porter up high. He's got Hildebrand now. Hildebrand challenged by Fry. Going to throw that one back out to the point now. Shot let go from the outside that time, and a rebound stopped. Two big saves from Martel. First on Lewis, second on Porter as the Rebels back the other way. Tompkins to the inside for Elliott, and another big save. Rebound behind the back, shot by Connor, stopped. So back-to-back saves for both goaltenders on either side of the floor. 12:05 to go in the third period. Outlaws back into the offensive zone. Hildebrand has it in his stick now, dishes off to the right side, finds Kieran Lewis. Lewis dishes back up to the top for Porter. Porter trying to make his way around Nickel. Forced to pass that one away, and Hildebrand now going to challenge Zorniak. Hildebrand spins off. Zorniak lets it go. And that one pops back out, and that's going to do it for the shot clock. Martel has it in his stick. Jolivet, my apologies, that Entrop with it now, holding it along the right-hand side of the floor. Baker tried to let that one go, and it ended up wide of the net. It was kind of the no-looker from him there. Now the shot clock going to expire, so the turnover should be awarded to the Outlaws here. And indeed, that'll be the case as they start to work this one up the floor here once again. It's going to be Porter. Finds Lewis, 10:55 to go in the third. Lewis sends that one up to the point and gets the return feed. Lewis trying to dunk that one in from behind, and it ends up behind the net. A great job by Martel to kind of go winged eagle there. Up along the right-hand side, Walsh dishes that one into the middle. Elliott alone with Connors, who just couldn't quite grab the pass from him as it's played out now down to the left corner. Outlaws going to be able to pick up the rebound once again. 10:20 to go in the third period. We're almost at the halfway mark of this frame. Rebels lead it by 9. Connors challenging his man here in Owen McKenna. McKenna going to throw that one back up high. Porter going to settle it down and go across for Hildebrand. Hildebrand signaling with his head. Porter pops out to receive that pass. Now trying to drive this one low. Lets it go, and Zorniak ties up his stick enough. And another one not going to get on net. Make that the third block shot of the game, I believe, for Alex Zorniak. He's been soaking balls all over the place in this contest, and that's definitely going to get applause from his bench. Leg already looks to be wrapped up a little bit, but showing no fear. 9:49 to go in the third period. And that's your goalie Waters, or an opportunity to read out your 2026 Rebels sponsors. First, Leading Edge Physiotherapy, Cyclone Environmental Service, 5-2 Project Services, Lakeview Inns and Suites, Jiffy Lube, Armor Self-Storage, Sin Bin Sports, Mel Martin's Transfer Limited, Fort Sask Auto Body, and First Call Heating, AC Plumbing. And a special shout out to the Rebels 2026 presenting sponsor, Noyen Construction. 9:49 to go in the third period. The Rebels are going to have the ball at the point when we resume. Looks like it's going to be Tompkins starting with it up high. And the Rebels all but have this one in the books. Just need to get through this last half of the third period as Tompkins dishes it off to Jolivet, who finds Baker into the middle now low. Lets that one go. And it looks like we do have a player now headed out, and it's going to be Carter Mitchell headed off the floor and holding his neck, as it looked like that previous shot block now getting to him. He did return to the floor momentarily for a shift, but it looks like that'll be it for him in today's contest. And a shout out to Tristan Shaw having the eagle eyes on the floor and letting me know it all as Reed Lowe steps in, and a nice stop there by Couturier as the Rebels try to take advantage of a whistle there. As pass thrown up the middle, Zorniak going to settle that one down and bring it back onto the offensive side of the floor for Fort Saskatchewan. Entrop going to receive the pass from him as Zorniak goes for the change, and Pook going to come off the bench. Pook coming onto the floor as the righty and then going to switch to the lefty. Maybe a little bit of mind games from him. Of course, he is left-hand dominant, but now in his proper position is Elliott from the point, looking for a shot. Goes down to the corner for Jolivet, who sneaks it through and make it goal number 14 and a 10-goal spread for the Rebels. That is goal number 3 of the game for Mr. Jolivet. So the hat trick for him, joining both Elliott and Reed Lowe in that category today as the Rebels continue to lay on the offense over the Beaumont Outlaws. 8:45 to go in the third. Despins going to line up against Wheat. Face-off violation charged against the Rebels, so the ball going to be awarded to the Outlaws. Brownlee going to dish that one off now for Quade Manning. Manning finds Porter. Porter back up high now. Finds Hildebrand, who's going to dodge around Walsh, trying to get to the inside lane. Lets it go, and it ends up wide. Crease violation charged against him regardless. So Walsh going to pick this up with some space and time to move up the floor. Finds that pass low, and there's a quick shot there for Nikipolo, who didn't have a defender on him, but unable to convert. Couturier in the way. 8:20 remaining in this period. Ball stolen away nicely by Connor, stepping right down the middle, feeds it to the inside. Elliott, shot stopped by Couturier, and he's going at it now. And it looks like penalties upcoming. Maybe only one guy getting sent here, which that doesn't make much sense, does it? Elliott gonna head to the box. And it looks like we have an Outlaws power play coming up here once again in this contest. If both guys are going to commit contact on one play and you're just going to pull a cross check out of it and put a team down, you're going to leave me a little bit confused on that, but nonetheless, we'll start at the point, and it's going to be the Outlaws with it. Karen Lewis starts from the point, approaching 8 minutes to go. Lewis gets the pass from Hildebrand as the Outlaws move things around the outside. Shot there, and that one going to be stopped by Martel. Hildebrand trying to get on the rebound. Zorniak putting on some good pressure. Ball pops out and recovered there by Brownlee. Brownlee dishes off to the right side of the floor. Porter has a lane, chooses to go back up high for Lewis. Lewis's shot stopped by Martel. Big stick of Martel there with the monster mesh in it, as we used to call it back in the day. Nice feed up ahead, and all alone short-handed. Stopped is Ashton Johnson by Couturier, and the Outlaws going to look to go back up the floor with the man advantage. 1:20 remaining on their power play. Quade Manning gets that one off to Porter now. Is going to settle it back up to the point for Lewis. Lewis off to the left-hand side now. Outlaws continue to work this one around the 24. Porter with a lane. Lets it go. Martel not able to stop it. It sneaks through. The Outlaws get one back on the board on the power play. That the second outside goal of this game from Jesse Porter. And the Outlaws sneak back within 9. And yes, Tristan, you're able to hit that button to throw the Outlaws up to the 5-goal mark now. 7:10 to go in the third. Knox Despins lines up for this draw once again. Ball comes out loose. A battle for it here. Pook trying to get on top of it, and he does pick it up. Has a lane right down the middle. Pook stepping in, trying to go behind the back. Stopped by Couturier. Ball in the crease. So the Outlaws trying to move it out. A weak pass that time. Almost picked off, but good job there from Owen McKenna to recover it as he's pressured all the way up the floor. But now going to settle things down and move this one back up. Brownlee to Porter. Porter, shot from the outside, and that one going to whistle wide. Ball all the way down, and that's going to be the over and back violation charged against the Outlaws. Rebels ball down in the offensive zone. 6.5 remaining in this contest. Ball up high, end drop. Sends that one across for Jolivet. Jolivet back over to Entrop now. Entrop waltzes this one in along the right-hand side at that shooter spot. Tries to send it across the 24 again and somehow finds its way there. Bounced its way along, and now Tompkins going to pick it up. Put that one behind the net. Feed out in front. Jolivet, a nice quick stick chance. Stopped by Couturier. 6 minutes to go. The Outlaws headed back up the floor here once again. Nice little run here. Shot going to end up wide from Richie Lucid, and it looks like we have a too many men penalty upcoming here on the floor. And it's going to be the Rebels assessed it here once again. So headed to the box to serve it is Davin Jenner. Second penalty he's had to serve today that he did not commit himself. 5:55 to go in the third. The Outlaws look to make it back-to-back power play goals. Well, 3 in a row if you're going to count the major penalty back in the second period. Nonetheless, they go to work here. Up high, Hildebrand lost his handle on the ball, picks it back up and goes up to the point for Lewis. Hildebrand again finds Porter. From the outside, his shot stopped by Martel. Zorniak along the right-hand side, a short-handed break here for the Rebels. Going down the middle that time was Ashton Johnson, but ball knocked out of his stick. Outlaws looking to send it back up the boards, and they do. Ball popped out loose. Good battle here by Ashton Johnson in the left corner, and he has it back in his stick now. Some great penalty killing here from the Rebels. Johnson puts that one back up high into space for Walsh, and he deserves a pat on the back for himself here. Some great ragging of the ball. 5:05 to go in the period. Walsh still holding on to it up high. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Rebels happy to hold on to it and just let time peel off here. Down to a minute to go on the penalty kill. Outlaws trying to pick it up. A bouncing ball unable to be recovered, and now finally it looks like they will get on top of it. Chase Richardson couldn't pick it up. And it looks like it's going to be Outlaws ball awarded by the referees. Zorniak forced to leave it, and off the bench to pick it up is Kason Brownlee. I've now had 2 folks stop by the booth and just stop and listen for a moment, and I got to be honest, that stresses me out more than when I see a high viewer count. It feels like prying eyes. Nonetheless, it's all good. We make it happen. Tristan Shaw looked more stressed than me. He was scared he was going to fire another goal on there. That didn't happen. Nickel up the floor, trying to feed that one ahead for Bennett Fry, unable to connect. Fry leaves it, and the Outlaws pick it up. Can't let them live it down until the final buzzer goes. That's the rules when you're in the broadcast booth. Make a mistake, and you only hear about it until the end of the game. That's how it works. 4:05 to go. Outlaws, 10 seconds to go on the power plays. Hildebrand lets that one go, and it ends up wide over top of the net. Lewis going to settle that one back down. 8 seconds to go on the shot clock as we are even strength officially here once again as Nickel trying to pick up this ball. Davin Jenner is out of the box down in the offensive zone, hoping for the spring pass, but won't happen as the Outlaws recover. 3:40 to go in the period. Holding on to it high is McKenna, trying to get free away from Jack Nickel. He will now. McKenna gets that one away to Quaid Manning. The second pass unable to connect, and a nice stick there from Nickel. Penalty upcoming, though. Probably the high stick. No, the slash going to be charged against Jack Nickel. He'll head to the box, and with 3:20 on the clock, the Outlaws back to the power play after going unsuccessful on their last. So it's a penalty-ridden third period for the Rebels, but gave themselves some allowance after a big display in the second. They still lead this game by 9. Lewis pitch that one off. Hildebrand get the return feed now at the point. Will Lewis and find Porter. Porter down to the right corner. Good ball movement here, getting everybody a feel to kick off the power play for the Outlaws. Hildebrand now looking for that movement, a behind the back pass, and a quick shot there. They're saying didn't catch a piece of Martel, so only 7 seconds left on this shot clock is another shot. They're saying did get a Rebel that time, so out of play awarded to the Outlaws with a fresh 30. Lewis off to Hildebrand, return feed. They play some pass now. Another shot, and that one's going to whistle wide. Porter trying to settle this ball down. And he'll collide tightly there with Walsh. And now head to the box. A good play there by Walsh to get that ball knocked down the floor. 2.5 to go in the third. 1:08 on this Outlaws power play. Hildebrand steps in. Big outside shot. He needed it with 2 seconds left on the shot clock, but the Rebels able to pick up the rebound and go down to rag the ball here. Ashton Johnson. Great penalty killer on that last one where the Outlaws went unsuccessful. Going to dish that off to Dylan Pook and go for the change. So a bit of a easier run up the floor for him this time around. As Pook getting some wraparound checks here. And that's going to get knocked out of his stick swiftly by Kieran Lewis. So a great play by him to get the ball back for the Outlaws. 30 seconds on the power play. Dishes it off, and the shot out of the stick of Hudson Cook that time. Going to find its way all the way out of play, and it's going to be Rebels ball as it catches a piece of the Outlaws bench. Jackson Baker down in the right corner. 1:40 to go on the game clock. 16 seconds left, shorthanded now for the Rebels. So the Outlaws get this one back, push it up the floor. Hudson Cook gets that across half. Pressured here are the Outlaws. It's Quade Manning with it, who finds Hildebrand, who goes to Lewis. Lewis, 1:17 to go on the clock. Hits Porter. Porter across. Hildebrand, Nick's nice move from the outside. Steps in, and a great stop by Martell off the top of his right shoulder. 1:08. Ball pops loose. Rebels not too eager to go get it, but Nickel nonetheless does get the loose ball. Now breaking out 3-on-1. Slow change from the Outlaws. Bennett Fry behind the back. Rylan Connor steps in alone. And it's stopped by Couturier, barely holding on to that one, but nonetheless makes it. And he hasn't had himself a bad game today. He stopped 30 shots from the Rebels. On the other side, it's been a 34. Or Tristan Shaw is saying the shots are even 50-50 on ours. That's how he's calling it. So that would make it 36 saves for Couturier and 45 saves on the other side for Martell. Math is hard, folks. That's why I went to radio school. They don't let you into smart people classes when you're not good at math. Nonetheless, Connors up high at the point with it now. Only 17 seconds to go on the clock. Pitch down to the left corner. The Rebels just happy to sit on this, I'm sure, and go out with high sportsmanship in this one. Fort Saskatchewan improves to 9-1-0 on the season, maintaining their stance at the top of the North Division. The Outlaws will fall to 2-6-0 on the season. Hat-trick performances from Ethan Jolivet, Reed Lowe, and Liam Elliott push the Rebels. Reese Walsh doubles his goal totals this season with 2 in today's game. Jackson Baker and Ashton Johnson getting on the board, joined by Entrop as well. Goals on the other side for the Outlaws, 2 from Jesse Porter, 1 from Chase Richardson, another from Carter Mitchell, and Kieran Lewis gets himself up there as well. So that's going to do it from the JRC today. Final score, 14-5 in favor of the home side Rebels. My name's Aiden Bullsgard. Tristan Shaw's on your score bug, and Abe is running your camera for you. We'll send you off with the views of the handshake line. Until next time, it's been a pleasure on NetFront Sports.